Okay, we have Israel here. Thank you for
sir.
coming
What
in.
it do, brother? What's going on?
What's up, man? So,
Chilling.
you got musician, clothing line,
Yes,
singer.
engineer. Let's see, not an engineer. Well, I do engineer because I engineer my own music. You feel me? But an entrepreneur. You feel me? All in one, an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
businessman, musician.
Yeah, and like I said when you came in here, I mean, you got a real good flow of talk. You could talk to anybody.
Yeah.
You know, you talk very professionally.
Thank you.
You know,
I
you do.
appreciate that. Thank you.
So, where did you grow up?
I grew up here in West Palm Beach. My mom's side of the family is from Melbourne, Florida.
Okay.
So my grandma, my mom's mother, moved down here first. I can't tell you the year or what years, but my mom's mother moved down here first, and then when my mom got out of high school, she wanted to be closer to her mother, so she moved down here.
Okay.
So in all, I have 3 younger brothers and 1 older sister, so we were all born here in West Palm.
All 4 of you.
Yep, all born here.
Yeah. And are you close with your brothers and sisters?
Yeah, we're close, but we're all separated. Like, me and my sister are the only ones that live in West Palm. So my brother that is the second to the oldest, which is right up under me, he lives in Louisiana. He went to school there.
How's he like Louisiana?
I never been yet.
No?
I haven't been yet. You know, we have so much going on. I haven't even been up there yet. But the brother that's right up under him lives in Tallahassee. So he's still in Florida. He's just not in West Palm.
Yeah, he's just way up north.
Right. And my youngest brother, he lives with my mom, which is in North Carolina. My mom lives in North Carolina now. So
Does he like it out there?
he don't. Because he grew up around here. So you know how it is when you're a
Yeah.
young kid. He 18. He just graduated. So you know how it is when you're young. You don't want to leave your friends.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, mom, nah, I don't want to go up there. You feel
So
me?
my friend, he lived in New York forever.
Yeah.
Like downtown New York, like the boroughs. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? Then he moved here, and he's been in North Carolina for the last 5 months.
Okay.
And he's like, yo, if you want to go to like a Walmart, it's
Yeah.
like 30 minutes away.
Right,
If
right.
you want like a McDonald's, it's like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Not like
Well, my
here where you
mom-
just go out.
She went because it's cheaper. You know, she
Yeah,
was
it is.
able to buy land and build a house there. You know what I mean? My mom, I get my personality from my mom because she is an entrepreneur. She's a behavioral therapist. You feel
Oh,
me?
really?
Yeah, so she people pay her to like coach their kids. You know what I mean? Kids that have problems like fighting in school or they just crazy. You know?
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, that's what my mom does.
Wow,
But
so-
she has her own business. So the thing is, she started like kind of like not a foundation, but she started a business with that. You know, so some people offered her a job in North Carolina. That's the main reason why she moved. But she knew it was cheaper too, because some people offered her a job to work at like a counseling place. So she moved up there, stayed. She's been up there for probably like 4 or 5 years now.
So now is she working for herself or she's working
She works for herself.
Oh, really?
She
That's
started working
great.
with the people who gave her the counseling job, but then she already had a nonprofit organization down here.
Oh, that's nice.
That's
Nice, yeah.
my whole life growing up, like my mom.
I'm sure you saw some crazy stuff, huh?
Yeah, cause my mom used to feed the homeless and do all that type of stuff. You know what I
Wow.
mean? So that's why I'm such a people person. You know,
Yeah.
I get my personality from her.
And it's bad.
know?
And for people that are watching it that aren't in West Palm and this area, I
Yeah.
mean, they're under the bridge.
Yeah, they're
They're
everywhere.
but they put some law on, I think, that they can't.
Yeah, I
Some
haven't, bro. You know
places.
what's crazy? Like when the pandemic first happened, I haven't seen a lot of. I see some of them like standing on the median with the signs and stuff, but not as much as I used to. So I don't know what they done did with the homeless people. I don't know what's going on.
They
But
must be under that bridge still or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
something.
remember they used to be piled
there used to be
out.
a lot of them. There used to be a lot
Yeah.
of them, but I don't see a lot of them.
Well,
anymore.
they put some law in that they can't do it. That, like,
that they can't be out there.
They can't be out there. So, like,
Well, guess what?
I've
All this
seen-
money America got, house the motherfuckers.
I know,
Shit.
put 'em in. But like I'd see them there, and they'd see a cop, and boom, they'd be out
Out of there.
They'd be like, pick up the little sign and run the
Yeah.
other way. You
They
know
probably
what
lock them up or something. But some homeless people, they be like, go ahead, lock me up because I don't have nowhere else to be.
I mean? Yeah, better
know
be
else to
locked
go.
up with 3 hots and a
Exactly.
cot than under a bridge. You know, especially. But good thing for them down here, it's not like freezing cold.
Right,
like
right.
It is up north.
Yeah, we got good weather.
So where'd you
like
go to high school at?
High school. I went to my high school. I went to Palm Beach Lakes High School in my 9th grade year. So
Okay.
my 9th grade year, I went to Palm Beach Lakes High School, and then me and my mom, teenage. My dad was here. My dad passed away last year in
I'm
August.
sorry to hear that.
But my dad's side of the family was from Alabama, so everybody on my dad's side lives in Alabama. So I have a big family on my dad's side, but on my mom's side, very small.
Have you been to Alabama?
Yeah, I've been, but I only been 4 times.
But you have an accent, and I can't place it, but it kind of sounds.
It sounds like some country stuff.
A little bit of country.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can kind of.
It's probably in me. It's probably just in me.
Like naturally, right?
Yeah. So I went to Palm Beach Lakes, and when I was in my 9th grade year, towards the end of my 9th grade year, me and my mom was having problems because, like I said, my dad, he was around, but he wasn't around like that, so I ain't have like that discipline from my father or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, us as young men, we get hard-headed. You know, we men. You feel me? So my mom wanted to send me up the road with my sister. Now, at this time, my sister was married to a guy in the military, and she stayed in South Carolina. She stayed in Beaufort, South Carolina. You know, so
that's another middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
right?
It's like the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's like a bunch of ruins. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I moved my 10th grade year. I went to Beaufort High School, which was an art school. I didn't know that until I got up there. So in Beaufort High School, I took drama class, I took dance class,
Wow.
I took chorus class.
Wow.
You know
really?
what I mean? Yeah, no lie.
All right.
Yeah, but I always danced since I was younger. I always used to dance, you know. But I actually took, and that's like where my singing ability really enhanced. But you know, we'll get to that. I'm gonna let you ask the questions. You know? Yeah,
no. Go ahead. No, go ahead. No, it ain't.
So I've been singing since. Now I first discovered my gift when I was 8 years old, right? Because my mom. Now before my mom had me, my mom used to do drugs and stuff. I was born 89. I'm 31. Even though I don't look it. You know, everybody think I'm 23 and everything.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
but
a good thing.
I love it. You know.
I'm 38.
ID me every time. Thank you.
I'm 38, but I shoot Botox in my head, and I will continue to.
You look young, brother. You look good. So, where was I? So, I first discovered my gift when I was 8 years old. Before my mom had me, she used to do drugs and be in the streets and everything like that. Cause my grandma was doing stuff like that. You know what I mean? So, when I was conceived in my mom's stomach, you know, my dad they still used to do drugs and stuff. Cause you know the 80s era, like the crack era and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So my dad used to send my mom to jail because my mom still wanted to do the drugs. So he used to call the police on her, so it wouldn't affect me. You know what I mean? So she would have to go to jail, get out on the week, like get out. Or she used to go during the week and get out on the weekends. So finally, I guess she got tired of doing it, and she found God. You know what I mean? So she found Christ or whatever, and she gave her life to Christ. So I was born into church. You know what I mean? I was born that way and born like very religious. But even though I'm not now, because the older we get, is what you learn when you was born, it doesn't mean that's the right way that it's supposed to go. You only learn that because that's what your parents were taught.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when I was 8 years old, I used to have to go to church every Sunday or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And my mom I wanted to get into some extracurricular. You know what I mean? So I wanted to join the church choir. Now, I didn't know I could sing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But maybe that's just a gift that was in me.
Yeah.
So I remember one rehearsal that I had with the church choir, and it was like, and I've never been a shy person. You know what I mean? That's just always been a part of me. I've never been shy. So the choir director was like, well, who want to sing this lead part or whatever? You know, I raised my hand like, I want to sing it.
You know, I had never done it before or anything.
Even though I never done it before, I want to do it. And whatever it was, I can't remember. Like,
how old were you?
I was 8.
8. I thought you said 8. I just wanted to
Yeah, I was 8 years old.
And you just said, hey, look, I'll go.
I said I wanted to do it. It probably was like between 9 and 10. I don't know if it was exactly 8, but between 8 and 10.
Yeah.
You know, so I wanted to sing the part, and I sung it, and they was like, yeah, you gonna sing it. You gonna sing it. You feel me? So I think that Sunday service that we were supposed to sing the song, and I sung it, like everybody kind of like, you know,
they were like, whoa, look at this.
Yeah, he can sing.
Yeah,
he can sing.
He's tearing it up.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So even though I didn't know how to control my voice or anything like that, but a kid that can sing, you will know it.
Yeah.
You know, you'll be able to hear it. You know, so that's when I first discovered my gift
in singing.
Yeah.
Now, don't you think, like you were saying, like your father basically put your mom away to try to straighten her up and keep it with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, like today's day and age, if you go like this to your kid, the kid runs into school, he hit me.
Yeah.
Right? Now, you tell me from your point of view.
Okay.
You know, okay? Now, nowadays, you know, you can get arrested for
you can't even touch your kids.
So explain to me, right? Your kid's acting up. Go to your room for an hour.
Yeah.
Or 2 hours. What is that going to do?
Nothing.
Listen, my grandfather was almost 6'6".
Yeah, yeah.
And my dad is shorter, but
Right.
they didn't mess around.
Yeah,
right?
nah, my mom whooped my behind plenty of
you ain't
times.
lying.
I just got right fast. I ain't like to get whoopings.
Yeah, my grandmother was 5'4" Italian lady.
Yeah.
I mean 5'4", ate pasta,
And
everything
she'll
else.
give it to you too.
She'd take a wooden pasta spoon.
Yeah.
And when I piss her off, I mean, we must have had 30 of them in the house because she'd break them over my ass. You know,
Uh-huh.
I'd act like it hurt, but then my dad would find out.
Right.
Or
Hey
my
man, they
grandfather.
say, hey, you know what they say though, and I believe it's some true. I've never done my research on it, but they say Italian people was like the closest thing to black.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
I
I've
know
heard
it
that
has
too.
something to do with some history and some people who colonized whatever, but
Yeah.
I haven't really done my research on that. But I believe that.
But
you know?
but now you can't do that. So now they say, well, why are these kids acting like this? Well, like I would do wrong. I'm sure you did too.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
get that first beating, you're like, all right,
Yeah,
all right,
exactly.
Yeah, and then you do it the second time, and then the second beating sucks.
Right.
And then when you go to do it the third time, you're kind of like,
yeah, now
I
you
don't know.
Get it?
But now if I'm gonna put you in your room, I'm like, okay, so what's gonna happen?
Nah,
What, are you gonna
because
take my
I'm not
Xbox from
going.
me?
It's not gonna put. Of course, you don't want to put like that type of fear in your child, but at the same time, it's like, what are they gonna fear? Like, what if you send me to my room and I do some crazy stuff? Like, what if I go steal something, right?
Yeah.
I go steal something, I get in trouble, I don't go to jail, but now they letting you discipline me. They letting my parents go to your room.
What do
I'm
you
gonna go
care?
steal again, because guess what? I'm gonna just go to my room and
Go to room, take
who
a
care?
nap. Wait,
Yeah.
that's what I mean. And I'm not saying beat the kid or anything, but you know,
nah, you
know,
have to discipline
you know
them
how our
like
parents did. I could still hear that strap,
right, exactly.
and they didn't mark you up or anything or like really
Yeah.
injure you, but you knew it was no good.
See, me, I'm like I said, from the time I was born, and so now I'm not a religious person, but I'm still a spiritual person. So I still, I'm a biblical person. I still believe the word of the Bible and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I'm not a person who, if this is your religion, this your religion, I don't care. Like, to me, everybody's God's people. And to me, like, we supposed to love everybody and
No matter
love
what
each
they
other.
are.
Exactly. It don't
Yeah.
matter what you are. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But in the word, it says, spare the rod, spoil the child. That means if you spare the rod, you're going to spoil the child. Like, if you don't whoop that
Give 'em a little
behind,
something, yeah.
you spoiling them. Like, they going to go out and do whatever.
I agree.
You
And
get
how
what I'm
about this
saying?
one? How about this one? How about now? They give if there's like a competition, they give trophies to all 10 kids.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like
Mhm.
when you're playing basketball and you're like 8, 9, 10 or whatever it is, everybody gets a trophy now.
Right.
When I started seeing that, I was
Yeah,
what
they
the
try
hell is
to.
that?
Nah, you don't give, like, especially a boy.
Yeah.
A boy.
Yeah.
You have to raise boys with certain principles and morals, and you have to, I don't have kids, but I'm just a very understanding person, and I got a little wisdom. I don't like to say I got wisdom,
But they want it to all be even. 'Cause
Even.
there's
No,
bullying
it's not.
bullshit.
It can't be
and
like that.
everything. Yeah. All right. So you start singing in the choir. You find out that you have a talent. Now, are you in love with it at this point, or you just are starting to think maybe I got something special?
At this point, I just think I got something special. I don't really fall in love with it, and
Yeah.
I get to the point of how I fell in love with it.
Okay. All right. So you sing in the choir. You're 8 years old.
Yeah, so I'm singing in the choir. I'm 8, singing. I didn't even think about like writing music or anything. I just liked to do it. So by the time I turned 14 is when I really discovered that I wanted to do music, period. Like, I really like music. And first, my mom used to support it, but after a while, it came to the point like, this not making you no money. Like,
Yeah.
my dad wasn't there to discipline me, so my mom trying to, like, and I never understood it in the beginning. So once I got like 18, 19, I used to be mad at my mom. My mom don't do certain things for me, but my mom was trying to show me, like, you got to be responsible. Don't depend on people. You know what I mean? Like, you get what I'm saying? But I used to do that a lot. I used to depend on people. People tell me this. People tell
How'd
me
that
that.
go?
Not
so well.
Yeah, not well at all.
Hey, I did the same
people
thing,
used
man.
to promise you stuff, like, you know what I'm saying?
And the worst is when, like somebody, like, just, I always use this as an example. Like, one of your boys, your friends has a flat tire.
Yeah.
And you'll get up at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
to help them.
when they
But when
do the
you
same-
call them,
exactly,
are they coming?
Exactly.
They ain't coming.
And that's why I don't associate myself with too many people. I hang out with a lot of people, like, and that's because I like to go out a lot and I like to live and I network a lot. but those are not people that's around me every day.
You know, like you said, you're not a dummy. You know who's who.
Exactly.
And if you got one good friend, you're lucky.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
And that might not even be a good friend. You just, maybe for the moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now you're up and coming with the clothing. And,
yes, sir.
And all that other stuff that's going on. And so you get to that. So now.
So now, let me continue. So I was 14, right? And by the time I turned 14, so my mom, we used to move around a lot. My mom moved around a lot. I done stayed in Boynton, you know, like Lake Worth, Riviera Beach, West Palm, you know. We stayed a lot of places. So at this time, we moved further out west, but still in West Palm Beach. So it was a neighborhood. It was called Saddlebrook. That was the name of the neighborhood. Now, it was a hood, but it wasn't too bad because my mom always made sure, like, even though I never stayed in, like, a slum or anything like that because my mom always wanted us to have, you know what I mean? So I can never remember as a kid my lights being off, none of that. My mom used to work 2 jobs, all that type of stuff, you know? So when I turned 14, in the complex, it's like, you know how you have buildings and there's like a house at the top, house here, house there, house there. So I had a best friend, his name was Cedric. He stayed across he stayed across the hall from me. And then there was this other group of this other family, they stayed in front of him. Now, this is when I found out I really wanted to do music. I cannot remember their names, so if they ever see this, I don't know. Like, they'll know who I am. Mm-hmm. So that's what really got me into dancing and singing and writing music because one of the guys who stayed in front of Cedric's house, Cedric's house was across from mine, and their house was in front of his. So one of the guys, I can't remember his name, he was like really into like dancing and stuff like that. So we had like we got together like a dance group, and in the neighborhood, like they used to have a talent show at the office. They used to have a talent show at the office, you know, like every summer when it ain't school, they used to try to like, you know, do something for the kids so we stay out of trouble.
Like you were saying, like extracurricular
right,
activity,
you get what I'm saying? So we started doing that. We was dancing, and the guy, he was the coach of it. Now, one day, I don't know where this came from, like he was just like writing music, like on the stairs, like writing music and singing it and stuff like that. And then that brought me back to my remembrance that I can sing, you know? So it just kind of clicked, you know?
Yeah.
So I started writing music, and then I met a good friend of mine. His name was Artavius McCoy. We started a group. You know, I think I sent you the picture, but it's not up here, but you probably will show it.
I think I got
we started a group called TNT. And so at the age of 14, I was in middle school by then. So I was in middle school, and people knew me for doing music because we used to go to the studio. My mom, like I said, my mom supported it at first. When she first started supporting it, she was working at a bank. It was Wachovia. You remember Wachovia back in the days?
Yeah, Wachovia, now it's Wells Fargo now.
Yeah,
right?
So my mom used to work at Wachovia, and then she stopped working there, but she met a lot of people that used to come to her job. You know what I mean? And one of the guys she met was like a producer. You know,
that's some luck there, huh?
Yeah, so she met a producer, and she brought us his card and was like, y'all need to call this dude or whatever. Dude came to our house. He came to our house with me and my boy, and then we were supposed to do, I don't know what happened. I can't really remember, but we were supposed to, like, he was supposed to take us to these higher heights, but it never happened. So,
yeah, one of those things.
You know,
right?
But when we discovered, like, being in the studio and stuff like that, so we met another guy named Ryan. His name was Ryan Peeve. I'll never forget. And he had a studio in Lake Worth. You know what I mean? So we used to go to his studio and we recorded like 5 songs. So we burnt the 5 songs on the disc, and when we would go to school, we would sell them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because I always, like, for some reason, growing up, I always had an entrepreneur, like, get money type of spirit. Like, we used to sell our CDs. Another thing we used to do.
Remember those days it happened to burn everything on a CD?
Yeah. We used to burn them, sell them at
DVDs.
So that's why a lot of people know me for music, because when I was in middle school, when I was that young, we used to sell our music. You know what I mean?
So you were an entrepreneur young.
Yeah. We even used to do like stuff like this. It might sound funny. Like me and my friends, right? We used to play basketball back in the days, and we used to be on travel teams. So we all would put on the travel team jerseys. Like when we know we don't got nothing to do, we don't have no jobs, we used to go on the meter. You know how these people holding signs?
Yeah.
We used to like write stuff like, oh, help us get to our
like
next
nationals.
basketball tournament in Vegas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We used to be like, help us get to our basketball tournament in Vegas, but we all wearing the same jersey. Man, we'll make like $100 a day sitting on that thing.
That all fit.
Yep.
Yeah.
But guess what? We ain't going to no tournament in Vegas.
I bet you could jump.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I probably can. I don't know. I
You
don't be
look like
doing
you
too
could
much
jump.
athletics nowadays.
Nah.
I work out a little bit,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you're doing that. And then what happens next as you start to develop your career?
After 14, you know, messing up in school and stuff like that. Like,
any big trouble or just little stuff?
Not huge trouble as I was young, except, you know, my mom wasn't into like the whole weed smoking thing and all that. Cause like I said, like my mom was a very religious lady at that time, you know. So she wasn't into the weed. I didn't start smoking weed till I was 18 though.
And do you think she got into the religion so much because she had an issue earlier in her life, and then she found religion that kind of cleaned her up,
right?
And then that's what led her to all of this,
right?
And then you too, basically, or having to deal with that, I should say.
Yeah, so
in a nice way, Mom.
Yeah. That's what led to it. Like ultimately, that's what led to it. You know, her doing drugs and wanting to stop. She's like, once she had me. And then, cause my sister is 10 years older than me, so my sister seen this stuff. Okay. I didn't see none of that. Yeah. You know, I never seen my mom would do nothing, you know, but drink wine. That's it. You know, but my sister used to see it.
Oh, okay.
You know, so so 14, not too much big trouble in school. You know, we were so into the music at 14. Like I said, my homeboy Octavius, his we call him Tick. So, cause our group was called TNT, so it was Tay and Tick.
I got
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People started we started getting popular around our school, middle school, John F. Kennedy Middle School. We used to go to. Yeah. So we got so popular that when they used to have like the pep rallies, like before we did FCAT, you remember? I don't know if you know about FCAT.
No, what's FCAT?
Well, it was like a test you had to pass in order to go to the next grade.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like
it must be a Florida thing.
Yeah, it's a Florida thing. It's called FCAT. So we used to have FCAT rallies, like pep rallies and stuff, like trying to get us prepared to like, you know, study. And so they would have me and him do like shows there. But they wanted us to write like a FCAT rap. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Too bad you don't have any video of that.
Yeah, I wish I did, man. I wish I did. But yeah, so I've been doing that type of stuff way back then. You know what I mean? So, you know, skip forward. So 14 to 18, all between just, you know, just going to school, doing normal stuff, playing basketball, you know, getting in trouble, not really keeping up with my grades and stuff. Like I always was. For some reason, I always had like in the beginning of the school year, I would always be on point and pay attention. You know what I mean? But like the second, third semester or something like that,
I started
falling off because I started writing music in school, looking at girls. You know what I mean? All type of stuff. So let's fast forward to when I turned 18, right?
Well, as an artist, right, that you've become, when you were in high school, what subject did you like the best?
What subject I liked?
Yeah,
I liked reading.
You liked
I liked language arts. That was my favorite subject.
Yeah.
You know, I hated math, but the older I got, the more I started having to deal with money and being a grown up. You know, that stuff kind of clicked in because they say if you strong in one area, you kind of weaker in the other.
Yeah.
So in school, I was always good with language arts. Like when growing up in school, I used to walk around with like a thesaurus. I used to read like. And people used to pick on me about that, but I never cared.
What did I tell you when you first came in? I said you really have.
Yeah,
very good vocabulary,
and you know,
and you talk very classy.
And the reason for that, the reason being is like I said, my mom, when I was younger, my mom always had like bookshelves full of books, you know. So I always wanted to follow my mom, like be smart, you know what I'm saying. So I used to read some of those books she used to have in the house and stuff. So that's another reason for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was your favorite one. So now you're 19.
Mm-hmm. So now I'm 18 going on 19. So now me and my friend Tick, you know what I mean? We still used to sell our CDs. So now we know the whole like going to the studio, paying for studio time, like make a whole little CD or album or whatever. So we did that. I think we made like a 8 to 12 song like CD, and we used to go to like Walmart and sell them. We used to always sell them, like sell our CDs for $5, you know? Like check it out. We used to tell people like we wasn't the type of people that just be like, oh yeah, buy my CD. We'll be like, listen to it real quick. Listen to it. And then if you don't like it, don't buy it. You know what I'm saying? And they always liked it, you know, so they'll buy it.
How'd you get them to listen to it?
Just compel them. Like our energy, you know? It was just our energy like, hey, trust me, this is going to be one of the best things you ever heard. I like, play it. Just play it. And that's one thing, like if you just trying to sell somebody something, but at the same time, if you actually trying to convince them and you're letting them hear it, and they hear what they like, then they like what they hear, and then they gonna buy it.
And as a businessman, it sounds like you're almost relentless until they at least hear it. Then if you don't like it, you can walk away.
Exactly.
But you're gonna hear it, right?
Exactly.
Now
we used
back
to convince
then,
them.
How much was studio time?
Back then, studio time was for us probably like 25 an hour, something like that.
And what is it now?
Probably like 50.
Oh, okay.
Or it depends. It depends on who it is or who the engineer is.
That's
you know.
True.
Yeah. So we run into selling CDs at Walmart, right? We run into this family. It was like a dad and a son. Now these are some Italian people. They own a boat yard. You know, they sell boats.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm still cool with them right now. Like I see them sometimes in Jupiter, so I'm gonna say that their name is Louis Rivera. Rivera is their last name. They was from New York. Some Italian people from New York. You know what I'm saying? So we eventually they tell us that, oh well, his son the dad didn't know anything about music. You know. And the son really didn't either, but the son liked rap music, you know? So they like, oh, well, maybe we can help y'all get signed. We can sign y'all and do this and this and that, you know? So we did that. We end up meeting them, you know, going to his boatyard. Like, he believed in us. He did. He believed in us so much, and he heard our music. And his son, it was really from what his son was saying. His son, like, this shit is tight. Like, it's dope. I'm sorry if I cut it.
No, you say fuck.
Okay. This shit is tight, you know?
Yeah.
He like, this shit is tight. Dad, we need to, you know, go to the next level with this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we end up meeting them, going to his boatyard or whatever. We signed a contract with him, which probably should never did. But we signed a contract with him, and from then on we created a whole album. We created like a 16-song mixtape. You know what I mean? So from that, it was a lot of stuff going on, like some people that they knew this person. You know how it goes. We know this person in New York. We know this person, you know. So a lot of people in Jupiter area, like during probably 2008, this happened in 2008, they probably know me for that, you know, because like I said, all my life people know me for music.
Now were they putting up the capital?
They did.
All right. So for your first contract, I mean, it's not that bad.
They did. It's not like we got some advance or something. But they just help. They help us create it. You know, they pay for the studio time and all of that. So what we did was for like a whole week, me and my guy Tick, we put together like all these songs. We already had probably like 8 songs already. So we said we just gonna add these 8 songs, but we gonna write all this music. So we wrote all the music. We went to the studio. It probably took us like a week to record it. You know what I mean? It was like, I think it was 16 songs on it, yeah. So 18, that happened. Me and my boy Tick, like, I kind of messed up a little bit. The manager guy, he wanted to, because I was always the one that was musically inclined. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, I used to write the hooks, come up with the concepts. You know what I mean? So one day he pulled me to the side like, oh, man, like, let's just, you know. And there was other things going on with, you know, the whole situation with my guy. So we split up. You know what I mean? We split up, and then I stayed with Mr. Louis, like the guy Louis. I stayed with him. Now, when I stayed with him, my career went a little further in Palm Beach. You know, so people started recognizing certain things, and I don't know if you ever heard of like Triple J.
I heard of Triple J.
Okay, yeah. So Triple J is a big guy out here, and he probably doesn't remember this because, like I said, it was 2008.
Yeah.
You know, so I was supposed to do my own little album, but it never really transpired. It never really went through. So I did a song with Triple J. I did a song with it was a guy named G-Boy, which is a good story about him. Who else?
Now, are you singing the hook, or are you rapping? Or
I'm writing. The songs are mine, so I'm putting the hook together. I'm putting pretty much. So they say the person who does the hook is the person who's creating the song. You know, I'm putting the whole song together, but I'm writing the verses.
Oh, you're writing the verses?
Yeah, I'm doing the verse. I'm doing the hook, you know.
So you're basically saying here.
Yeah.
Is that what it,
no. I'm on it.
Yeah.
I'm on it, but I do the hook. I do my verse. I might leave a verse and then say, okay, come in, listen to this. You know what I'm saying? Listen to this, and then, you know, put your verse on it.
Now, do you make the beat first, or do you write it, get all that together, and then do the beat?
Well, how I do it is right now I listen. Well, I did it like this before too, but I don't make beats. You know what I'm saying? I used to make beats, but I think if you pull something else in, then it's gonna take away from something else. So if I'm too busy like making beats, I think it'll take away from my writing ability.
I like that.
You get what I'm saying?
I
So
totally get what you're saying.
I don't make beats.
What happens is, and I've seen it with business for 38 years, right? And they do 17 things at once.
Yeah.
And then they overwhelm themselves.
Exactly.
And then instead of doing one thing really good, they're doing too many things that they just can't focus on one thing. So you're a good singer. You're a good writer. So I understand what you're saying.
Right.
Now, if you throw in the beats, now you got people. Now, let's just say the beats turn out to be good. What happens, Israel? What happens? Now people want you to make beats.
Yeah.
so now you're getting pulled in all these directions, and you can't do what you're really good at.
Absolutely.
So I totally know what you're saying.
So you get it. You get what I'm saying.
I just never knew how the whole process worked.
Yeah.
You know?
So what I do is they have a website called it's an app too. It's called BeatStars. Back in the days, they used to have this same thing, but it was called SoundClick. You know, so we would go on SoundClick, www.soundclick.com, and then you can go and like download free beats, or you can lease them, or like just pay for the exclusive rights. So this thing is called BeatStars. So it's an app on your phone. You can download it, and then it's all producers like all around the world. You know what I mean? And then you could preview the beats. You could download it. But me, I don't like downloading stuff for free. I like to pay. I like to either pay for it or lease it. Because, you know, people, I don't know if you ever heard a song with those tags in it. Like, people will do like a song over a beat, and they'll have like a tag in it.
What's that?
It's like something that the producer puts on there so you don't take their beat. So
is it something like you know, like DJ Mustard?
Yeah.
Like he'll say like Mustard on the track.
Beat. Yeah. So
or
let's
London on a track.
Right. So let's just imagine I found a DJ Mustard beat, but I didn't pay for it. But I just downloaded it. He would have that all throughout that beat.
Yeah.
Muzzle on a beat. Every 1 minute, muzzle on a beat. I don't like
I got you.
I like paying for my stuff because the thing is, if anybody's serious that's like in the industry or that's considering like taking you under their wing or signing you, they're not gonna take that serious, because you're showing them you're not serious about yourself, like
because you won't even buy the beat.
Exactly.
Right.
And I have a lot of talented friends, and I have a lot of friends that have talent, and I be trying to tell them that, but they don't understand that. They think everything just gonna come for free. It take money to make money. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You have to pay for what you want. Then people will take you serious. You get what I'm saying? So. I don't know. I tell a lot of people that.
Yeah. Well, they should listen, because it's exactly what, like you said.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people, like with that, you know, say they get a London on the track beat, right? They probably think in their head, well, this is going to be a killer because people are going to think I worked with London on the track.
Right.
So even though it says it every 30 seconds, they're okay with it because they're probably thinking in their head, well this is going to take off. But like you said, if you're trying to get signed or something like that.
Yeah, you gotta pay for it.
And the competition now is.
It's crazy. It's very, very crazy. So where were we? So 18. So the manager thing. So I worked with a lot of people. You know, I was supposed to put out a whole album, but I didn't do that. Now, this guy I was just telling you about, his name is G-Boy, right? So I wish we could pull up some of the pictures. But the guy G-Boy, right? It was one when I was wearing a chain. It was like one with a chain on.
Yeah, you keep talking.
Okay, so I met this guy G-Boy. When he met me, he knew when he met me, he knew that he knew I had it. You know what I'm saying? He would just listen to my music all the time, and he knew I had it. He came to the studio, he listened to some stuff I had played for him. That one right there, the picture that's right in the corner. You see me with that chain on?
One here?
Yeah, so that was there's a big company. Well, they're not that big, but there's a company called Entrepreneur Entertainment. They were called Double E. You know, and a lot of people know them. I didn't meet everybody in that company or everybody in that camp, but I met G-Boy. You know what I'm saying? And G-Boy, he used to come to the studio a lot, you know, and he taught me a lot. He taught me a lot about the business side of music. Now, I'm going to tell you how he learned the stuff. Now, G-Boy was going to be signed to Terror Squad.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, Fat Joe, right?
Yeah, he was going to get signed to Fat Joe. Unfortunately, some things happened, and he got caught up in some stuff, and I think he went to prison.
Okay.
You know what I
so
mean?
That killed that.
Yeah, but he taught me so much. He taught me a lot about the business side of the music and certain, like, stuff about royalties.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And the royalties is what you get paid after it comes out, right?
Yeah, well, it depends. You can get paid royalties for a lot of different things. You know what I mean? Like for radio play. You know what I mean? You also can get paid royalties for like shows, shows. You know what I mean? Like if you do a show, you can get paid royalties for that.
Oh,
but
really?
you just have to be signed up with a PRO, which they call it. It's a performance rights organization. Okay. So I don't know if you ever heard of like BMI, ASCAP.
I've heard it. I've seen BMI. So is that like a publicist?
Yeah,
okay.
it's a publicist company. It's not they are a publicist, but you can also hire a publicist to do things for you. You know what I mean? But they're still gonna have to go through one of these companies. You know what I mean? But they can, the company is only gonna pay you if you're affiliated with them.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? So most of the time, people have publicists because, of course, artists, they're very busy all the time and stuff like that. So these people can affiliate with them to make sure they get their royalties paid out. You know what I mean? So yeah, that picture right there, that's up.
You got some serious jewelry on
Yeah,
that,
it wasn't
man.
even mine.
Wow,
it was my boy G-Boy's on.
Wow, G-Boy's got some serious shit
Yeah. So he taught me a lot of
neck.
stuff, man.
Yeah.
He taught me a lot. And so that was during that about 1920 period right there in my life, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So after that happened, you know, after I found out that because he used to take me with him, do a lot of, just to show me stuff. He would just show me stuff like when he would go perform at like big shows and stuff like that, he would show me like, okay, this how it's supposed to go. You know what I'm saying? He's sitting in the car like, wow, we watching people go in the venue or whatever, and he's sitting in the car. It's like everything is like time. Just it's like a safety measure thing. You know what I mean? Like we like 5 car deep. You don't know what car he in. You know what I'm saying? Because they all black cars. You feel me? But you know, he showed me a lot. He showed me a lot about stuff like that. So that's about 19, 20 years old in my life. So around that time, like after all this transpired, you know.
Now, are you working anywhere, or this is just your main thing?
No, I don't think I'm working.
Okay.
My first job was McDonald's.
I was actually going to ask you what's your first job.
Yeah, my first job was at McDonald's. How old was I? My first job, I was 16. So I done skip all past that.
How long did you last at McDonald's for?
Probably like 3 months. I never really wanted to work for nobody, and that's because I think I get that from my dad, because my dad was like that. My dad was my dad owned his own little grass company and stuff like that.
Big business down here.
Yeah, so he did that type.
My first job was Hardee's, bro.
It was Hardee's.
Remember Hardee's?
Yeah. They still got Hardee's.
I don't see it. I think
I don't really see it too much with the star on it, right? Like Hardee's.
I try not to remember those. It's like blue, and I think it has a star. I think.
Yeah.
I think I seen one in North Carolina or South Carolina.
Yeah, they do have them in North Carolina.
Is that where I'm thinking?
Yep.
2 weeks I lasted.
Yeah, I never really wanted.
I did it for my mom.
Work for nobody. Even though at certain times of my life, I felt like I was like, okay, you gotta work, dog. If you're trying to do this, then just work, put some money together, you know, do whatever else you want to do, and you know.
The problem is that Hardee's and McDonald's ain't gonna do it.
Not at all. So yeah, that was my first job at 16 years old. I worked at and I actually, you know what's funny? I worked at McDonald's twice. I worked at McDonald's twice. So I worked there. The first McDonald's I worked at, it was on, I don't know if you're familiar with the area, but the one right by Sam's Club on 45th Street.
On 45th Street?
Yeah, it was McDonald's over there. So that was my first job. And then,
I bet you that was an interesting place.
Man, I hated that stuff.
Yeah.
And I used to work in the morning, like the breakfast shift.
Oh, man.
So, man, I used to have to wake up like 3 in the morning.
But at least you went, though. I mean, you gotta give you credit that you went. I mean, 3 in the morning, I mean, not many people are going to do
I ain't last long, though. I ain't like
it. I lasted 2 weeks.
Yeah,
so,
I ain't like it.
You know, I was some bullshit shift. I think it was like some terrible shift, like 3 to 11, like just ruins your day type thing. You know what I mean?
I worked at McDonald's again in North Carolina. Remember when I told you I moved up to North Carolina with my sister? I worked there again when I used to go to school at Beaufort High.
Now, is this true? I heard a manager can make $40,000, $50,000 a year at McDonald's.
It probably is, but I never got into it.
I was just curious.
It probably.
I have friends that are franchises, and they have like 3 or 4 of them, and they are balling.
Yeah.
Balling.
Man, that's crazy. They probably can.
But you need like $1 million liquid.
Yeah.
You need $1 million liquid, meaning
to own a franchise.
Yeah,
at
so if
McDonald's.
you want to buy McDonald's, you need $1 million in the bank. They want like $350,000 in assets. Like, you got to show all this stuff to get one.
That's crazy.
Well, I think they do that because they want to make sure it's ran right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So Israel worked twice at McDonald's for the record.
Twice.
I'm gonna break your balls for that when I
Yeah,
when I see you on TV.
I've had a lot of jobs though. Don't get me wrong. Like
I'm gonna get you on McDonald's when I see you popping up all the time.
I think that's the. Let me see. That's the only restaurant job I ever worked at.
Yeah, restaurant's a tough job.
Yeah. Besides, like I worked at the Hilton and stuff like that, but that's not really
bad.
restaurant. You know what I'm saying?
That restaurant. And then you leave there and you smell like grease
Yeah.
and shit. You go meet your girl and you're like, fuck.
Yep.
Is this still like in your hair?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's see where we at. We at 20 years old because I skipped past the McDonald's part. You know, I forgot about that.
You tried to.
Yeah, I tried to skip past it.
I strung him back. I strung him back.
Bye. Not loving it. Yeah, so
I threw my hook to the McDonald's and I got his ass.
So hold on, let me see. 20. So around 20 years old, I think, because I was always like moving back and forth, like to my mom's house. Like, you know, I'm trying to be an adult. My mom getting fed up with me, get out of my house and stuff. So like I said, by the time when I was 18, so this one part I kind of skipped over. So when I got kicked, my mom kicked me out when I was 18. She kicked me out of the house for smoking. You know what I'm saying? I started smoking weed when I was 18. But I didn't, like, down here, I never smoked weed or anything. But when I moved to South Carolina with my sister, you know, South Carolina, for some reason, Beaufort, that area, it's like, it's a lot of gang related like stuff up there.
In South Carolina?
Yeah, bro.
I don't think that.
Yeah, it's a lot of kids. It's a lot of kids that be like they have nothing else to do.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, a couple of my friends that I had met up there, you know, they was already smoking weed and stuff. So I'm thinking to myself, well, you know, in school they always say don't smoke. Well, what's so bad about it? I was always a curious person. Like, why is it so bad? Why they tell you not to do it? Why it's so bad? It's gonna kill you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, started smoking up there, came back, and one time, I violated my mom's house, everything. I did some off the wall stuff. You know what I mean? So, she went out of town. My mom went out of town, and she didn't want me in the house already. She was like, "Go stay at one of your friends' house for like the week until I come back." You know, because I was already doing, you know, just doing stuff I wasn't supposed to be doing. You know, so she went out of town. And people gonna think I'm crazy when I tell you this. So she went out of town, and at the time, the place that we lived in, this when the first iPhone first came out. So whatever year that is, this is what year I'm talking about.
It's 2008.
8. See, saying 18. That's what I told you, right?
Yeah,
2008.
2008. Yeah.
Yep. So the first iPhone came out, right? So the people, the complex that we lived in, they were offering every residence. They were saying, "Oh, if you renew your lease, we'll give you a free iPhone."
Really?
Yeah. And my mom had no idea what an iPhone was, but you know, we on the internet and stuff, so I know what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, "Oh yeah, ma, renew the lease, get the iPhone. I want the iPhone." You know what I'm saying?
Shit, I'll get a lease for that.
So my mom was like, you know, she was thinking about it. She like, even if she did renew the lease and got the iPhone, but she didn't give it to me. You know what I'm saying? So this is what I did. Me being disobedient at the age I was. Good. She went out of town. She said, I'm not giving you no key, nothing. You got to go stay at one of your friends' house for a week. You know what I'm saying? So I left. My mom left. She went out of town. I can't remember where she went, but she went. I had the bright idea that, oh, my mom got an iPhone in there. I'm going to go break in the house and go get it.
Oh, no.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So she left. She came back earlier than expected. You know what I'm saying? So I broke into my own house.
Mm-hmm.
Got the iPhone, went and sold it to somebody. Just to have money to smoke. You know what I'm saying? Stupid stuff. You feel me? So now when I broke into my own house, me and my homeboys are sitting in the house smoking weed in my mom's house. She came home.
Oh no.
Man, my mom will beat the crap out of me, bro. And then that's when she kicked me out. She kicked me out like I was done for enough.
That's when she said enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really violated. You tried it this time.
Yeah, now you did it, pal.
Yeah.
Now you did
so
it.
She kicked me out after that. And I used to, and what's funny is, I used to go to for some reason, my whole life I always had like friends. You know what I'm saying? Like true friends that I can chill with, hang with, anything. You know what I'm saying? So I used to go. My friends were still in school. Mind you, this time I hadn't dropped out of school. You know what I mean? And my friends were still in school. So I used to go to their houses and stay at their houses, but I used to sleep under their beds. and their parents like didn't know it. Cause they didn't want that
Damn.
going on. Like, why you got kicked out your mom's house? Cause back in the days, like people cared.
Yeah.
Like what you did wrong. Like why
Yeah.
you got kicked out your mom's house? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's how their parents used to feel. So they knew their parents weren't gonna let me stay there while they going to school, and what am I doing? You know what I'm saying? So
Sleeping under a bed.
I used to sleep under their beds.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
That's
they moms
funny.
knew it, figured it out after a while. They didn't say nothing to me, but they told them like, "Hey, you gotta go."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
That's a lot of moving around.
yeah, I
a lot of
moved
twists and turns.
a lot,
this.
man. So let's see what that happened a lot. And I met a good friend of mine. His name was Sean. I met him. Well, let's say after all that happened, I kind of got my stuff together, started working a little bit, trying to show my mom like, okay, I'm sorry, I'm gonna get it right.
Well, like I'm getting my things
Yeah,
together,
I'm
right?
trying to get it right.
Yeah.
So eventually, my mom let me move back with her again. You know what I'm saying? So I moved back with her, and I still have contacts with my ex-manager's son, the guy who I told you, like, he signed us and all that stuff. So his son met
Are you talking about Lou the Italian?
yeah, because his son name was Louis Jr.
Yeah,
You
Lou,
know?
that's how it
Yeah.
always is, man.
His son name was Louis Jr.
It's always like that with us. Man.
Yeah, so I still had contacts with him. He still used to hit me up because even though like me and his dad, we didn't like communicate or we left him kind of on bad terms because he spent money and then we didn't reciprocate the money. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how it was, like
Business, man.
business.
Yeah.
Now I understand that. Before I didn't.
Yeah.
But his son ended up getting into it, and he left the house or whatever, and he ended up meeting this guy named Sean. He met this guy named Sean, guy owned a studio in like side a Boost Mobile store, and Louis already knew. So since I was younger and I used to go to studios, I always was into engineering. I always used to watch the guys who like recording the music. You know what I mean? So I was always into that. I learned how to do that. His dad also paid for somebody to teach me how to do that. You know what I mean? So I learned that, and he knew I was a good engineer. So he was like, "Oh, well, this guy got this studio, and you should come engineer at it." You know what I mean? So start engineering at that studio. I met a lot of people like that. You know what I mean? Triple J used to come through there too. He probably don't remember that either. Because a lot. I mean, as life go on, we do so much stuff.
Now,
we forget.
when they say engineer, right? Because
Mhm.
somebody who doesn't know like the music industry,
Right.
when you're an engineer, what do you do? Like I see like soundboards like this, but a hell of a lot bigger.
Yeah. You pretty much you record the music, you mix it, you master it. You probably even like some people don't like going to studios where an engineer doesn't have a sound like a ear for music, because then sometimes an engineer could suggest, because they know how the overall outcome would come out. You know what I mean? Like when you're recording something, you might not know how it's gonna come out or how you want to do it, but I could probably say, no, do this like this, because I might not tell you, but in the end you're gonna like it.
Right.
Like say this like this or say this like that, and I'm a pan this over here, like put this in the left ear and put this in the right ear, and then when it's all done, it's gonna sound like a masterpiece. You know what I mean? So an engineer pretty much just, you record the music, you mix it, but you also,
When you say mix it, what do you mean mix it?
what I mean is
I'm just asking
you're
for
leveling
like
it.
a person that doesn't know.
Yeah, you're leveling the sound. You're pretty much like, you're making sure the vocals are not higher than the track itself. Like it has to deal with what's the word I'm looking for?
Like the gain.
Yeah, the gain. So
yeah.
it also has to deal with sonics. You know what I mean? You have to
Okay.
sonically know what's gonna, because even if you engineer something really good, that doesn't mean what it sounds like in a phone is gonna sound like on like big speakers.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So you
Yeah.
have to sonically know what you're doing.
I realized that with this.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I realized that the tough way.
yeah, so engineering, but nowadays there's so much information on YouTube, like anybody
Yeah.
can be an engineer.
And then when I always hear this, and I'm sure like somebody that just thinks like you're interesting or you pop up.
Right.
So now, okay, so you mix it and then you master it,
Uh-huh.
and then is mastering it just mean you're making it all work together, or what does mastering it mean?
So mastering is the biggest sonical part about it. Like, so an engineer basically like mixing it is just leveling.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay, good.
Yeah,
good,
mixing it is just leveling it, you know, making sure like the highs are here, you know, the bass is here, you know what I mean? That's just mixing it. But mastering is really making it sonically sound the same on every device or everything, you know what I
Gotcha.
mean? So
Yeah.
that's like balancing it, you know what I'm
Gotcha.
saying? So that's what really mastering is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. You're a smart.
Did
kid,
I explain
man.
it right?
Yeah, you
think
did.
so?
Yeah, because I didn't know, because I always would hear master, mixing,
Yeah.
mix, whatever.
Because most people, they'll just, when they go to studios, they'll just mix it, but they'll send it somewhere to get mastered. Because mastering, like, if you don't have, like, nowadays, it's so much stuff out here. Like, you could just put it through, like, some machine and let it master it. But if you want, like, the big boy sound, like that, you know, Drake sound or something like that, you have to send it somewhere. Like, a studio that is like $1 million studio.
Yeah.
You know, because they have physical equipment. You know what I mean? Because physical sound is always better than like a digital sound.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Cause
I hate when they send them tracks off and they're not together. You can
Yeah.
always tell.
Yeah,
I
of
can
course.
tell.
Of course you can.
I hate that.
Yeah.
You know, get in the studio and do it.
Exactly.
If you're gonna do it.
Because the digital sound is always it's a digital sound is like what's the word I'm looking for? It's like a copycat of the actual sound, you know. So if you go to the studio that has $1 million worth of equipment and you see like those panels of things that's in there.
Yeah, I saw Chris Brown, and I know you had a little bit of a run-in with the whole Chris, but we'll get to that.
Okay,
That's a big thing, because Chris Brown's my boy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
But I saw his studio, built it in his house.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's more soundboards than the Guitar Center, or whatever the hell it's called. Now,
see, the thing is, those are physical. Those things are like physical interfaces and everything like that. So they also have that stuff digitally, like where it's not physical, like you can't actually touch it. But the digital stuff, it's not gonna sound as good as the real stuff,
Like
because
a mixer
all they
like
did
this
was
type thing.
emulate it. They emulated that and put it into a digital format, you know. So that actual equipment, that's why their sound sounds so like bright and big, and you know.
and as a musician, he was just on Fat Joe podcast.
Okay.
He's got 15,000 songs on his hard drive. I mean, he's popping them out on YouTube.
And I'm pretty
right.
sure half of them we haven't heard, because I have music like that. I have so much music, man.
Now, how
like,
long does it take to do that? From
What?
beginning, like,
Record?
okay, so you write the song, you have the song, because you're a musician, so you
Right.
probably come up with it pretty quick.
Yeah.
But then to mix it, master it, and not the digital way, the way you do it, the way Breezy does it,
Right.
and the heavy hitters do it.
Right.
Like, just average on a song. How long does that process take to do?
So, like I said earlier, don't rush the process, trust the process.
Yeah.
So the thing is, now if somebody's listening and they are a new musician, or even if they're a good musician, but you know they feel like it's something that's just not there. So the thing is, you have to take your time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You cannot rush it. If you rush it, it's not gonna be like it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you rush something, I used to rush stuff all the time. I had to learn this from people. You know, I wasn't born like this, just knowing like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just write this song. You know, but when I learned to take my time with it, it always comes out better. You know, and things always can be changed. Some people they'll make a song and they'll like export it, which is like put it on a device or whatever. You know, they'll export, they'll listen to it. Oh, this is it. This is it. Nah, listen for what you could change. Like, always try to make it better.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that, me personally, one song could take me from 3 days to a week.
Yeah.
It could take a whole month. I've had songs that I've worked on and I have like a hook or like a first verse and a hook, right? If it doesn't come to you, don't do it. Like, when you hear that beat, if you hear a beat, if it's not naturally, organically coming to you, then don't just be in there writing stuff, because it's not natural. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's gonna take longer. So I've had songs where I've done hooks and I've done verses, and I just leave that song there and I'll keep listening to it, but nothing won't come to me. But then like 5 months later, I might listen to it again, and then, oh, okay, you know,
And you jump back in.
I jump back in it, you know. So
gotcha. Okay.
you just can't rush
So
the
all
process.
depends,
Yeah, you can't rush it. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for explaining that.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are interested in that.
Yeah, because people rush, like, for all the musicians out there, people rush stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you shouldn't. I've had songs like I've recorded, I've been halfway done with the song, but I can't get these last 4 or 5 lines. I might wait like a week and listen to it, then I get it. You know, so.
Now, do you think marijuana helps the creative process?
Yeah, it does. I don't even smoke no more though.
You don't. Yeah,
I'm
you
a
don't.
natural.
You're a
I'm
natural.
a natural musician.
You're a natural born killer.
Yeah. But it can help some people. Like,
Yeah.
I guess it depends on, like, how they say you got the different, you got like sativa and indica, so it all depends on the person.
I was just curious because I know a lot of
but
people
I think
that say
it does.
Yeah.
Like, I think it does. I really do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm done drilling you with the mixing questions. All right, so you're 20 now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then take me from there.
So from 20 to, like I said, 20, I met this guy named Sean, met his whole family, I treat them like family, they treat me like family, you know what I'm saying? And so from 20 to like, let's see, 20 to 25, just working, trying to be a better adult, you know what I'm saying? Because I believe that how I feel is if you don't have your personal life in order, you cannot become, you can't build your house of your business if your house is not straight. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Like, you can't build a foundation of a business if you're not good.
Yeah, if you're not
together.
So,
I'm working on myself, I'm from 20 to 25, worked on myself, learning how to save money. I smoked. I started smoking at 18 and I stopped at 25. Long story, one day I bought some weed from somebody. I rolled it up. I seen it, so I know it wasn't laced. I seen it. I rolled it myself. I smoked it. You know what I'm saying? And that same day, like after I smoked it, maybe like an hour or 2 hours later, I felt like I was like just fucked up. I need to go to the hospital or something. So I told my brother, my god brother Sean, the same dude I'm talking about. I was like, hey, take me to the hospital. I need to go to the hospital. He was like, why? I'm like, I feel fucked up, And he was like, you sure you want to go to the hospital? I'm like, yeah. So he ended up convincing me not to go, and I just slept it off. But every time after that, I don't know what that dude did. I don't know who did what to the weed, because like I said, I rolled it myself, and I smoked it. So,
but you didn't grow it yourself.
I didn't grow it myself,
so
I don't know what the hell he did to it.
Yeah.
So every day after that, like when I had that one bad experience, I still had the urge to want to smoke, because I used to smoke day and night. But every time I smoked, it gave me the same feeling. So I just stopped.
So I
stopped smoking at 25.
Might have been a blessing.
Yeah, It might have been, because after I stopped smoking, I started saving my money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I really started really elevating in life when I stopped smoking. So that might have been my downfall.
Now, when you say from 20 to 25, you're really working on yourself, so that you could build. You had to have your foundation to then expand to become what you want to be.
Yeah.
What would you say was your biggest flaw from 20 to 25? Like that. I mean, not the we. I mean, like what is what was the hardest thing and the biggest flaw that you had to work on to correct, to sit down and say, all right, Israel, true self, I have my foundation. I love myself, and now I can build.
Right. I believe the biggest thing was depending on people. Always thinking you cool with somebody, and just because that person got this, and just because this person know you have a talent and they say they're going to do this, that don't mean you should depend on them to do it. You need to do it yourself. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, I do.
So that was one of my biggest downfalls, because I had people around me that, even though they knew I had the talent, they knew I had it, and they had the means to get the money, or they did have the money to actually help my talent go to the next level. But some people are people who don't want to see you go to the next level, but they're not going to tell you that. You get what I'm saying?
I call them snakes.
And they don't want to, exactly.
And there's more.
They don't want to see you get above them. You get what I'm saying? They don't want you to be above them.
Yeah.
You feel me? So I had those type of people around me, and I had to learn to get away from those people.
Yeah.
You feel me? So that was my biggest downfall, and the reason I felt like I couldn't get away from them, because in my mind wasn't strong enough to actually be in a position to say, okay, I'm saving my money now. I'm going to stop doing this so much. But some reason, when I stopped smoking that weed, it happened.
Yeah,
it happened.
Yeah.
I started saving my money, putting my money up. When I started being able to do certain things, like when I want to do it, I was like, okay, now I'm about to go to the next
And
level.
now it's time to bring out the Louisville Slugger, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had the same problem. I did exactly what you did.
Yeah.
And then what I did was subconsciously I was hanging around people.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tommy. Yeah, Tommy.
Right,
yeah, Tommy.
right.
But they're not your friends.
Nah, man.
Because then when the money goes away and something happens, all those guys
They go away.
all those guys that you bought the VIP for.
Yeah. When the money go, they go with it.
Then they're gone. And that was the biggest thing for me because subconsciously I'd have people around me.
Right.
And I could never. It was tough to let go of that because you know what I mean. And then one day
it's tough to let go of it because time is everything. When you start, even if a person is not for you, when you start spending time with those people, even if they're not your friend, you start believing like you start gaining a relationship with them. You know, you start getting like.
But they're plotting on you on the other end.
Yeah.
And South Florida is the worst.
Oh, it's the worst with it. It's the worst with it.
And these guys down here, like I moved down here in like 14.
Yeah.
And I never seen anything like this. These guys will hang around you.
It's a lot of people it's not loyal.
They will
no
sit
loyalty
around you. They'll hang out with you, Israel. You'll think that you know more than me because you've been down here longer. But I didn't realize it because I'm from up north.
Right.
There's people like that, but not like here.
Yeah.
And these motherfuckers will wait 3 years. And they'll just sit and watch. And then they'll just wait to make their move.
Yeah.
Just to screw you.
Right.
And they will wait. They will play the card for 3 years.
No, they will. These
to where
people,
you
they'll
think
wait
this is
you
your
out,
boy.
bro. It's messed up.
But the whole time in the back of their head, they're just waiting for the right time to slide in, to bang you or do something.
Yep. It's messed up.
So I can understand that.
Went off now.
Of course it did, right? I should have given you a charger.
Oh, well. Nah, it's not off. It's just probably the screen card.
Oh.
But it's all good.
Okay, so you realize the flaw.
Yeah,
right?
I realized the flaw. So, you
correct that. You stop depending on people.
Yep. Stop depending on people. Start saving my money. Like, end up getting, like, I'm a late bloomer. When I was young, my mom used to shelter me a lot, I'm a late bloomer. So I think I got my first car at like 25.
Damn.
Yeah, I got my first car. I bought it from my next door neighbor. Because he used to work at a body shop, and people used to always, like, bring him cars and stuff. So he had the car sitting in his yard for so long, and he was like, some lady gave him the car because she couldn't keep it where she was living because she already had 2 other cars. So I guess they were like, wherever she was moving to, they were like, you can't have this many cars in your yard. So
God.
he took the car, and he sold it to me. So sold me the car, had my first car, and I didn't have my license yet, because I went to, I went to jail in my lifetime. I only been to jail 3 times.
Okay, what'd you go to jail for those 3 times?
So the first time I went to jail was what was it? The first time I went to jail was I had some failure to appears because when I was younger, I used to see now you're bringing me back good. So between when I was like 16, like 15, 16, like that. I used to go and like steal out of stores. I used to go steal out of stores and go sell them to people, like clothes, anything, I used to do stuff like that. So I got caught one time for doing that. I had a court date, so it was a failure to appear. But not only that, I had like 2 other failure to appears. Like before I had my license, I was driving somebody's car. I don't know who car it was. Driving somebody's car, got a ticket because I didn't have my license, so I was supposed to go to court for that because I had what they call it, a permit. I had that, and then also it was one more, like some stupid open container thing. I was walking like downtown when I was young, like with a drink in my hand, and they gave me like an open container.
Well, I looked you up, and I saw you had a case in 2018.
Yeah.
What was it, carrying without?
Yeah, so
I'll let you do.
Yeah. So I had a case. I had a case in 2018. It was an open carry case.
Mm-hmm.
So I could tell you how this whole thing transpired. So I had a BMW with this 2000. So I bought the BMW 2017. Yeah, I only had it for like a year. I bought the BMW. This one particular day, I mess with women. I love females.
Yeah.
Not to say I mess around with all of them, but
Yeah.
I like to hang around females more because females understand more, and they not so. All females are not like egotistic like guys. You know what I mean? So I could have a female, like, if I need them to come, like, help me sell some clothes or something like that, they'll do it for me. You know what I mean?
And they're good at it, too.
Yeah. So I was hanging out with these 2 young females, you know. Well, I met one of the females. I didn't know the other one. So I met her out somewhere. This another crazy story. Motherfuckers gonna be like, you stupid. You stupid. So this is what happened, right? But I learned from my mistakes, though.
But it's part of your life, and
exactly.
We're like building your entire story, and then, you know, and then you end up to where you are now.
Right.
You know?
So I go pick this girl. She kept calling me one day, and back then, like I said, I was smoking. I didn't smoke then, but I used to, like, you know, I still got my contacts with my people who got stuff. So if I need to get something for somebody, I can get it to them. You know. So this girl was calling me one day. She like, oh, me and my cousin want to smoke. You know what I'm saying? We need some weed or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Now, I don't know this girl like that, but I've been talking to her for like a week, you know, but I don't know her like that. So I'm like, you know what I'm thinking in my head? Yeah. Oh, okay, she with her cousin. I'm finna go pick them up. You know, we going to the crib and chill or whatever. I go pick them up. It's late night, too. It's like, I probably picked them up like 9 o'clock or something like that. Went and picked them up, chilling with them. Her cousin, when I met her cousin kept trying to make it a big deal. Like, oh, we want to go chill. We want to go chill somewhere. We want to go chill. Let's go to the beach. Let's go. So I'm like, okay, her cousin keep asking. So we just going to go back to my house. You know what I'm saying? So we went back to my house, chilled for a little bit. They smoked, but I think they were already on something. Like they was on some type of pill or something, because I don't know. But we go back to the house, chill, smoke. So when it's getting too late, I'm like, all right, I'm about to take y'all back home where I picked y'all up from, you know? We get in the car. We get in my car. I crank the car up, right?
In the BMW?
Yeah, the BMW. Yeah. And it was a 2-door, too, because I love coupes. I got a coupe now.
323?
No, it was a 128. So it was a very small, it was a drop top, but it was fast. I used to love it.
Yeah.
But, so they get in the car. I get in the car. I crank the car up. Now, the first thing I did wrong, I made a mistake and left my wallet in the house, right? So this is how they stole the car. But this is how the cousin was so quick-minded that she's done this shit before. She's done it before. So I left my wallet in the car, right? I left my wallet in the car. I run in the house to get my wallet. I come back out. The car's still there. Okay. She thought that fast within a split second. She was up on me now. She was like, I think she thought in her mind, if he went in his house to go get the wallet without turning the car off, he'll go again and not turn the car off. So she made up a story, because they was in my room. I had like a little studio in my room. They was playing around and stuff. And she was like, oh, I left my ring in your room. I was like, you left your ring? Now, always go with your first mind, because my first thought was like, okay, get out, like, come look for it. And I was like, where is it? And she was like, it's on top of the speaker, because I had these speakers in my room. I'm like, all right. I go in the house. I'm looking for like 3 minutes. Like, hold on, man. I don't see no ring. I come out. As I'm coming out, they backing up with my car. And at the house, like the house I was living in, it was like a bachelor's pad. So it was like 3 or 4 of us living there. So it was a car. It was like a car here, car there. My car was here, and it was another car there. So when I first came out the door, all I could see was my lights like backing up, because my car is on the other side of another car. So I'm like, what? I run out there. I see him back up. The girl like threw the car in the driver gear, and I like ran and I started banging on the window. She had already locked the door. I'm trying to like open the door and everything. I'm cussing her out. I'm like, get the fuck out of my car. You know what I'm saying? So I'm banging on the window, and she like the car was fast, man. The car was fast. So she put the car in drive. She take off. I could have got hurt because I was finna jump on top of the car, but I was like, nah, let me get off. Took off. So I went and woke one of my roommates up, and I'm like, hey, man, get up. My homeboy Chris. I was like, get up, man. The girls that stole my car. You know what I'm saying? So long story short, I ended up having to make because what I was going to do was I stopped. I was like, you know what? If they took the car, whatever's going on, the place where I went and picked them up at, they didn't live there. So they got me from that off rip.
The power of the woman, bro.
Yeah, man. So
power of the panties.
I thought to myself, I'm like, I had gap insurance on the car. So if anything happens, if the car gets stolen, if it goes in a ditch or whatever, they're going to give me a check and I can get another car.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I was thinking. So I'm like, okay, if I do that, I got to have a police report if I say my car's stolen. So, boom, call the police, made a little police report. You know what I'm saying? Now, the funny thing is, the police didn't even find my car. I did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it took 3 days. 3 days went by. So what happened was I'm still texting the girl. Like, I'm like, hey, bitch, excuse my language, your ass going to jail. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to scare her. Like, you going to jail. So I knew they was on something because the next day when I was texting her, she came to her senses. Oh, no, my cousin did it. My cousin made me do it. Please don't. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, well, just find. She ain't know I already called police, but I'm like, just find me with my car, because I was just going to tell them I found it, drop it, whatever.
Yeah.
So just find, I was like, well, where's my car? Just leave my car somewhere with the keys, and y'all going to be good. Y'all won't get in trouble, whatever. Long story short, they end up giving my car to some dude that, like, was wailing Lake Worth somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Gave my car to this dude. Eventually, she gave me the dude Instagram. I talked to the dude, and the dude was like, oh, he tried to play it off too. He was like, oh, what car? I'm like, look, bro, the girl who took, I was like, it don't got nothing to do with you. You didn't take my car. The person who took the car, they told me they gave it to you. So just leave the car somewhere, tell me where it's at. I'll come get it. So, boom, that's how I found my car. When I got my car, now, when I got my car back, I had a firearm in my car. That was out of my car. And all my information. So my information got my address on it. I have, like, my insurance papers, all that. All that was gone out of my car. Yeah, they took everything out of my car, you know? So
why in the hell would they take everything out of your car?
Maybe because they was joyriding with it, and if somebody pulled them, I don't know. And they switched the tags of the car.
So I would have just kept your information in there, and then if I got pulled over, I'd run, and they would think it was you.
That's true.
I mean, that's how I would have done it.
Yeah.
I mean,
so they took everything out the car. Long story short, I get the car back, get it back home. Now, one particular day, I'm like, I'm finna go out and about. You know, I just want to go hang out. Got my car or whatever. And for some reason, on my street where I live, it was like people kept driving by. So I'm like, you know, what's going on? And because I had 2 firearms. So the one that got took was the one that was in the car, and I had one in my house. You know what I'm saying? So they kept driving by. I'm like, well, I'm finna go hang out. I think it was like a Friday night or something. I said, I'm finna go hang out, but I'm taking my gun with me, you know, because it just don't look right. So I get in my car, I leave to go hang out, and once I get, like, the neighborhood I lived in was a big circle, you know what I mean? So once I'm getting, like, to the end of the neighborhood where I'm, like, going out of the neighborhood, like, it's like a black Dodge Charger gets behind me, you know? I see him when he gets behind me. So I'm like, okay, I see this person behind me. So like I said, it's a big circle. So I had to turn. I wanted to make sure the person was the person following me or not, you know? So I drove fast. I was driving real fast. And then I turned, like, as if I'm going to go back home. So, because it's like a big circle. So I did that like twice. And I sped up just to see. And when I made that last turn, it was an undercover police officer. You know what I'm saying? So they got out the car. They ran because the gun that I had then, it was like a rifle. So I had it in my front seat.
Oh, my God.
You know what I mean? So I had the gun in my front seat. And they ran up. Like, as soon as I seen them turn the lights on, I just, like, pulled over. I'm like, oh, shit, okay. Boom, pulled over. Then they ran up on me. They had, like, their guns drawn and everything. Like, get out of the car. We looking for burglars, and you riding around with a gun? What does this look like? So I explained to them the whole situation, you know. But they still wanted to be assholes, so they took me to jail for that. You know, they got my car towed. I had to pay to get the car out. You know, they took my gun. I never got it back. But, yep, so that's where that came from.
Is that still an open case, or is it?
Nah, it's closed now, because what they made me do was, since I don't have no criminal record, you know, I'm not a felon or anything like that. And so when I went to court for it, they made me pay court costs, of course, and then they made me get my my gun license. So they was like, if you pay these court costs, you get your gun license, and you do 20 hours community service, then we'll drop it. So
you got off pretty good.
Yeah, so that's what I did, you know.
I would say you got blessed again.
Yeah. God always bless me. Thank you, Lord.
Ooh.
Thank you, appreciate it.
yeah. You got away good with that.
Yeah, so that's what happened with that situation.
Okay, so now we got through your legal career.
Yeah,
or illegal career, right?
right?
Okay, so you're 25. You find yourself, and then what?
Yep. So 25, find myself. Let's see. Now I'm just really getting into, like, the stuff I want to do. I'm a people's person. Like, I started having events like the place where I used to live at. I used to have a big backyard, you know. So I started really going out more, you know, going out, drinking, having fun, you know. I'm having all these events and stuff like that. I think I was performing a little bit in Miami, this place called Miami Live. I used to do performances there, you know. So, you know, things just going, and then I always knew like I wanted to get into clothing. You know what I mean? I was always a nice dresser. People love the way I dress. Everywhere I go, like, oh, that's nice, you know? And people know me for that. Even when I go out now, oh, you always wearing the freshest stuff. You know what I mean? So eventually I opened up a business. Like I said, I learned that from my mom. I opened a LLC, a limited liability company, you know? So that's it. I started selling clothes and stuff. I used to go out so much that my whole idea was, since I go out all the time and I go to these clubs and I see these girls and I see what they're wearing, you know, and I'm good at talking to people, then I need to get stuff that girls wear out, because when I go out, then that could be my way of marketing it. You know what I'm saying? Then I kind of,
when you're going out, you're also studying it too.
Exactly. I'm looking at what they wearing.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is what they like to wear. Like, if you're kind of heavy set, maybe girl, you like to wear black, because I don't know why they think black like take something away from their size or something. I don't know.
Well, think if you have a heavier person in white,
yeah,
they're gonna look a lot bigger in white than black.
Black,
I mean,
yeah.
think
so
about it. I mean,
I used to see that all the time. He was like, well, okay, I noticed this person.
Some of these girls, I look at them, I say, did they look in the mirror?
Yeah.
I mean, they'll have like glow in the dark purple on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they should not be wearing glow in the dark
right?
purple. You know?
No, not bright colors like that.
You should go to Israel site and get a black shirt.
Yeah, for sure. Get a black shirt or a black dress, you know.
Yeah.
But right now, like, so I first initially when I started my business, I started that in 2018 too. Started my business. I only sold women's clothes. And what happened was, like, so my mom gave me like she gave me like $1,500 to start it, because she wanted me, but she was like, when I first told her about it, she was like, okay, well, bring me like a plan or something, like how you plan on doing it, what's this, what's that, you know. So I bought her a whole little presentation. I was like, this how I'm gonna do it. I always go out, so, you know, it's gonna be easy, you know, not knowing that I'm thinking like, okay, I'm just gonna start a business, I'm gonna just make money. Now I made like good money at first, but it slowed down. Look, a lot of things started catching up, like in life. Like the house I was staying in, it was too many people living, and so, you know, when it's too many guys living in one house, you know, stuff just, people don't want to pay bills and do this and this and that, you know. So I eventually closed that company, and then I reopened it with my company that I have now.
And so that's
that's
right?
Resilient Clothing. Yes, sir.
That's a cool icon. I really like that.
Yeah, that's the logo right there. So. Right now it's just like, if you see it like on the other side where the shirts are, it's just a t-shirt company right now, but I do plan on going into like the selling the women's clothes.
So what are you doing right now? Just like men's clothes?
Yeah, just right now it's just t-shirts. It's not just men's, but there's female shirts too, you know, but I plan on eventually getting to that.
Yeah, I see you got Donald Trump up there, huh?
Yeah, man. I was going to the rallies. I was selling Trump shirts and all that.
Were you selling them like crazy?
Yeah. I probably only got about 50 shirts made. And out of those 50, I probably sold at least like 23 or 24. I still have a little bit of them, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I sold a lot of them, though. I used to go to the rallies, like, no lie. These people at these rallies, they, like, oh, yeah, come on, like,
they were cool? Everybody was cool?
They was real cool, because they would, of course, they would love to see a black man at a Trump rally, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They're like, come on in.
Exactly. They were very welcoming. So,
yeah.
Yeah,
so you got the music career going, you got the clothing career going.
For sure.
What was the biggest show you've done musically?
Biggest show.
Or, biggest show or event?
Event, show, event. Probably was Miami.
Sounds pretty big.
Yeah. It was I wish I would have sent you the video, but it was a concert called Miami Live. You know what I mean? And it was this certain DJ, I can't even remember his name, but he used to host it. So, you know, me and all my friends got together. We had T-shirts made and everything. We went down there, did that, and they
You got on stage and everything?
Yeah, they got on stage.
That must have been crazy.
Yeah, it was nice. It was real good. Like I'm good on stage. I've never been shy, you know. So
yeah,
I turn up. Like when I get on stage, I feel like I gotta turn to somebody else. You
Yeah.
know. So it was real like energetic, positive. You know.
So
what
now
I
the
mean?
way the music industry is now, right?
Mhm.
From your perspective, because you got, you know, iTunes, you got Spotify, you got YouTube.
Right.
Isn't it extremely hard to make it? I
It
mean,
is.
I see the benefit to it, and then I see the negative to it. So
Yeah.
you no longer really need a label if you're really
Right.
good.
Yeah.
But then on the other hand, it's kind of tough to make money with it because
True,
everybody
'cause
and their
you need-
mother is doing it, number one.
That too. Yeah.
And
Like unless you got something real special, like you gotta have something that's like nobody never heard before. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have like in order for you to like just pop like that. Other than that, it's a money game. Like that's what people do now. They gonna spend money to make money. That's all it is. Like you could spend money to boost anything, you know?
yeah,
Because a lot of people like they have like these Spotify curators and all this type of stuff that you can like they have playlists and you can pay these people to put they know DJs and playlists like you pay these people to put your song on this playlist that already have like this many listeners. You
I
get what I'm
see.
saying? So I could pay somebody like I might pay somebody like $100 and they might keep my song on this playlist for a month.
right,
But they have 100,000 listeners.
right.
You know, so it's gonna help your numbers go up. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I believe what do I like pros and cons as far as like it being digital now. I think that artists made more money when it wasn't digital
Right.
because like you have to get literally like you have to get plays to even get up to like $1,000 or something dollars, you know. Back then it's like you sell your CD for $20, you sell 20 copies, you know, you still get a percentage and the label gonna get another percentage. But right now, like if you get like 100 you get like 100 listens or something or 100 streams, that's
You
probably
get,
like
20
.001 cent. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
That's what I was saying because, you know, you got like the Apple Music, $14.99 a month, unlimited.
Right.
So who the hell is going to buy the album?
Exactly.
Who's going to buy the album? They're going to
And
spend.
you're not getting well, you do get. It depends on because they have so many third party like people. Like I use something called DistroKid. You know what I mean? So and they like it's like royalty free. Like they only take royalties from like I think if you make money off like YouTube because they post it on YouTube too. But it's so many third party like sellers. You know what I mean? That they blast your music to iTunes and Spotify and all this stuff, you know.
So to make it in this day and age with the music, you got to really know what you're doing.
You got to know what you're doing or you got to have some money. That's it.
Or both.
Yeah. You pretty much you got to know both because if not, you just going to get fucked over.
Right, because even if you know the business, but you don't have the money to get yourself out there because
it's not going to happen.
I see what you're saying. Like if somebody has 20,000 followers or like I know a lot of people that do it with the Kardashians.
Yeah.
Right? They'll give her, you know, 10 grand.
Right.
Just make a post for me, and she'll put up for like a week.
And then guess how many people going exactly.
Yeah. So
exactly.
I know exactly what you're saying.
You
so
gotta
really
have some money,
both.
man. That's why I be trying to tell people like, you know, they think it's just gonna be free. Nothing in this world is free.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You need the studio time. You need the equipment.
Even after what a lot of people, and I used to get it mistaken too, what a lot of people think is, okay, I'm going to record like 3 songs, you know what I mean? I might get it mixed and mastered, but what are you going to do after that? Because the marketing part, to me, marketing and promotion is more important than, of course, it's important to have the tangible, like the music, because without it, what you have. So you got to have the music first, but what I was taught was however much money you put into recording that, you need to either triple or double that when you market it.
Because that's the main company.
That's
so
the main important part.
And you're probably lowballing that.
Yeah.
Because I have a marketing company.
Yeah.
And I can tell you right now that it's probably if you put $100 into making that song, you better have about 1,000 to push it.
Exactly.
And maybe it will take off.
Exactly.
And it better be a banger.
Absolutely. Yeah. See what I'm saying? Yeah, you get it.
Yeah. I mean,
and
that's
a lot
just
of people they
marketing
think they just gonna put music out and it's just gonna go. It might go where do you want it to go? Do you only want it to be in front of the people that you know? Did you only make that song for people that you know?
Right.
You know? Did you only make that for your circle to keep hearing it and say, "Oh, that's a good song"? No, I'm not doing that. You know, I want the world to hear it.
Now, do you want to get signed?
I don't want to be signed.
Do you want to be independent?
I do want to be independent because that music industry is something else. You know,
Oh yeah,
there's a lot going on. You know,
read,
and I don't want to. You know, after a long time of me doing this, and you know, we battle with ourselves. You feel me? Battling with myself. I want to be famous. Maybe I don't want to be famous, but I don't even know if I want to be famous. I just want to be able to make a living off of what I love to do. You know, but with the talent that I have and the stuff that people tell me, I know eventually it's probably gonna get somewhere with somebody and if it does get there, I probably do like a distribution deal with somebody or something where I'm partners with somebody and I'm not signed to them.
Yeah, I think you kind of have to do that in the beginning.
Yeah,
you know, you need somebody.
Yeah,
you know,
you have
to push
you
it.
Can't do it all by yourself.
Because let's just say it pops.
Yeah.
I mean, you would need a lot of money to do it yourself.
Nah, for real.
How did because he's from down here? How did Kodak Black take off so big?
I think they mostly was like footwork.
Just a lot of footwork.
Yeah, just a lot of footwork. You can make it like that too. You can, but it takes a lot.
And now remember what happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
When you make it big, he couldn't. You know, nothing against him. He's just a young kid. He couldn't handle it.
Yeah, and he a real person though. So like, I think, but at the same time, when you get to a certain level with you know you got money, but certain people's raised a certain way. You know, some people still. That's why I'm glad I'm at the age I'm at now. Like if I was to make it now or when it does happen, I feel like I have the mental capacity or I have the matureness to understand certain things. Like, okay, don't do this. You shouldn't do that. You know what I mean?
I think he's doing a 10
he was still
right
young
now.
Though. He was still
he
young.
was real young. But I think he violated his probation or something with that gun.
Right.
And I don't know if he got 5 or 10, but he got a nice one.
Yeah, he got some
And that's
time.
with baller lawyers too.
Yeah. And who want to sit in jail while you got millions, man? I mean, I understand you got canteen and all that, but I want a little more than canteen.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, just be mindful of that when you start to pop.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of times I see that it happens just out of nowhere. It might be even like a track that you think isn't that great.
Yeah.
And you think, no way. And it just happens to be the one. And
yeah.
And you look
that's
back
the thing,
and
though.
you
You
go,
can't.
Shit.
They say, like, you're not going to pick your hit. Like, people are. You know? And that's why you got to keep some people get discouraged fast. You got to keep putting it out, man. Keep putting stuff out, you know?
Yeah.
That's
so how many albums do you have out now?
Right now I have 2. Technically 2.
And you have them on iTunes?
Yeah, they're on iTunes. They're on every streaming platform. So the first one is called Fifth Element, and the reason I named it that because I feel like music is part of an element. You know, you got earth, you got wind, fire, water, and then I think the fifth element is music, sound. You know,
look at the Israel the scientist over here.
Yeah. Bill Nye the science guy.
Bill Nye the science guy. Yeah, remember him?
So yeah,
geeky.
Yeah, I used to watch that all the time.
Guy. Yeah.
So I got Fifth Element,
mm-hmm.
which you can go on. If you got iTunes, you can go on there. Even if you just type my name, ISREAL Taylor, ISREAL, and then space Taylor, it'll come up. So I have Fifth Element, and recently I just came out with a project. It's called June Mungie. Mm-hmm. So when the whole, during the month of June, when they had a little Juneteenth thing going on, so I tried to play like off of that because originally I was just gonna name it Jumanji, but I named it June Mungie because I dropped it at the end of June. Now,
do you release tracks on YouTube? Just throw them out there to get yourself out there?
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I have a lot of tracks that are just out there on YouTube. I have videos that I just released. You know what I mean?
And you just type in Israel.
Yeah, if you type in on YouTube, if you type in official Israel,
mm-hmm.
so official and then space Israel, like all my stuff will come up.
And that will be in the description.
Yeah.
And all your stuff will be in the description.
Yeah, you just have to search it.
And we'll go over it. We'll go over everything. I'll show the Facebook, the Instagram, because you got some cool pictures. And
cool.
And a couple pictures that we're gonna get to here in a couple minutes.
Okay.
You can see you're sweating your balls off.
Oh yeah.
At that one show.
Oh yeah. Which one? Oh, you gotta show me. Show me.
But what I gotta get to is, you got into a lawsuit
mm-hmm.
with Chris Brown. And I always forget his name. Kurt Cobain.
Yes, sir.
And I actually have that song on my playlist.
Okay.
And Chris Brown is there's two artists
That are your
my favorite. Tupac.
Okay.
Because of the lyrics.
I love Tupac.
I love his lyrics. I mean, he got a little crazy at the end, but I love his lyrics.
Yeah.
And, back then, even now, I don't know anybody that raps lyrically like him that has meaning.
Nah.
But Breezy, Chris Brown, the guy you got into it. Well,
I like Chris Brown too.
His lyrics are good though.
Business.
Business is business. But his lyrics are real lyrics.
Yeah,
They're not some blah, 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 blah.
Nah, for sure.
All right. So you get into a lawsuit with Kurt Cobain and Chris Brown.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Now explain this.
Okay, so
this is my guy here.
Yeah, so I don't know why, for some reason, like throughout my life, like throughout the years, there's always a series of events that come along,
You'd be a good book.
But
I got a lot of book writers in here.
So,
you'd be a good book because you're 26 with 27 twists and turns.
Right. So the song, it's originally Kurt Cobain's song, but Chris Brown is featured on it. So what happened was one day I was on my Instagram, like going through my feed. I followed Chris Brown or whatever. I'm going through my feed, and he always post stuff of like dancers dancing to his music and all this stuff, So one day I seen this video. It was like these Chinese kids or something like dancing to one of his songs. Now this song I never heard before. I've never heard this song before, and I'm listening. I'm like, damn, that's a tight ass dance routine. You feel me? Now the more I keep listening, I'm like, damn, this song, like in my subconscious, I'm like, damn, this song sounds familiar. Then it come to me, I'm like, hold on, this sound like one of my songs. So then I go listen to it, I'm like, nah, bruh. I'm like, so I went and looked up the actual. Now what I wanted to do, I wanted to make sure that, my song, like, hold on, I'm gonna go look and see when this song came out. They had just put the song out probably like 3 days before he made that video. And my song was out a year before that. It was on iTunes, everything. So it was a publicized song. It was public, So eventually, like a day or something go by, I'm like, man, this got to be something serious. Because I let a couple other people hear it. I'm like, look, this don't sound like a copy of this. And they was like, yeah. So I hit up some intellectual property lawyers, and took the song to them and let them hear both of the songs. And, they thought the same thing. They like, yeah, the topic was the same. Like what he's saying it in a different way, because any smart person that knows how to write music, of course they're going to change like how, but the way he's saying it, the topic, what he's talking about is all the same. Like, and the funny thing, it's called Same Time, so.
Is it called Date Night?
That song is called Date Night, but in parentheses, you see what it says?
Same Time.
My song is called Same Time.
Yeah, right there it is. Yep. Yeah. So this is with your lawyer, right?
Yeah, so I'm just giving proof like that I really had this whole thing going on.
And it says, we're going to consider handling your case ourselves with the assistance of Gordon and Donor, who may have the horsepower to go up against Sony or UMG, but Chris Brown's RCA.
Yeah, so he didn't know exactly which label. He was just telling me pretty much like, look, we gonna help you out, you know what I'm saying? But their law firm was small. So he was saying we can't go against no big person like this without getting the help of somebody else.
Right.
So that's why he was saying with the help of Gordon and Donna, we got to have a meeting with these people, see if, because it could have been some big money involved. You never know. They could have just, instead of them even doing the case, they could have said, we don't want no bad like name for this guy was just releasing an album, the dude Kurt Cobain.
Yeah.
We don't want no bad name for it. We'll just give you this much. Just settle. Just leave us alone. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I bet you they would have.
Yeah.
You think he shits 20 grand.
Yeah. And I think, I believe that it still could happen.
Yeah.
If somebody was willing to take it on, but I would have to talk to more. I know they're not going to do it now.
Now, this is your lawyer saying this, right? He's saying, on this copyright registration, why did you take an exclusion for the, in parentheses, musical arrangement and assert a claim only for lyrics?
Right.
So what does that mean in English?
So this is the reason why they didn't push forward with the case, because when I did the copyright, I did it as a PR, which stands for performance rights, right? So that means like literature work, like only as in the writing of it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Instead of the musical arrangement, which is the SR, which is the sound recording, which is the whole sound of it, like how he's saying it, what he's saying. It doesn't. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter, like, kind of what he's saying as far as the written part is how he's saying it, the same topic and everything like that, So that's the sound recording. Like, how does it sound? Why does it sound exactly like my song? You know what I mean? So, and since I didn't copyright it that way, they were like, they didn't want to go through with it and then lose, because then it's like,
your lawyer said 3 times in a 5-sentence email, why didn't you copyright?
Because he mad about it.
Why would you have not claimed copywriting?
He mad because he know this could have been, like, that could have took their law firm to the next level.
The guy writes 3 paragraphs. He says it 4 times.
Yeah. He like, why?
He wanted paid off that.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
So he really wanted that.
So now, that's interesting. When I saw Chris, I had to look at that twice.
Yeah.
I said, Chris Brown?
For real.
That's my dude.
Because I have a, like, win, and also in the musical world, like, in the music world with business and stuff like that. So the federal government. So if you get your songs copyrighted through the copyright office, through the federal government, if you get a copyright infringement case, and 9 times out of 10 they know without beyond a reasonable doubt that you will win, the government will pay those lawyers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now his voice is more like energetic. My voice is more soulful.
Well, you got $65 million in the bank. You might be a little bit more energetic.
Exactly.
Too,
what I mean? For real. But yeah, that was what happened. That happened like 2019. It's about 2 years ago.
Dude, you got to pump these out.
Yeah.
You got to pump these out more. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's your best one, right?
I got a lot.
I listened to 3 or 4 of them.
Mm-hmm. You like that? A lot of people like that one.
You crushed that one.
Yeah.
I mean, I could barely tell.
Yeah.
Like, if I heard that, I would be able to tell after maybe 30 seconds that it wasn't Chris Brown.
Right.
But at first, I had trouble, like, who is who right now?
Right. You didn't know.
Man, you got something special, bro.
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
So now we'll get into some of the stuff you got going on here. This fucking thing will work. We're gonna add women's clothing. You don't have that yet.
Yeah,
right?
we don't have it yet. I still have some of the clothes that I used to sell. You know what I mean? Some of the women's clothes I used to sell, but right now it's just T-shirts. You see that big Trump shirt right there?
Keep America great, Trump 2020.
Yeah, and it's like Trump choking Biden. So what I do is I do.
Oh shit, he's choking Biden.
Yeah. So we come up with the designs ourselves. Like sometimes my cousin he draws, so sometimes I have him draw it and I'll send it to a colorist to color it. But also other times there's a website called Fiverr. It's called Fiverr. So that's an app. And if you do anything that has to do, like they even do like YouTube, like if you need a YouTube intro or something like that, they're like freelance like graphic designers and people who do all kind of stuff. So you can pay them to like do something for you. So you can get logos done and all that. So sometimes I'll just go on there and see what they got going on, or I'll think of an idea and I'll pay one of those guys to like make a logo or something for me, and then I just put it on a T-shirt.
So you get the concept in your brain.
Yeah, I make the concept
and then you basically subcontract it out to get it done the way you want it. And then they send you 20 examples, and you pick which one you like, or do this. That was pretty funny. Trump choking Biden.
Yeah. So and then I have a Florida like resale license, so I get the shirts for like wholesale price. I might get a shirt for like $3 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then the guy, like right now, I'm not putting them on a shirt yet, but that's my main goal, because I want to get to the point where I'm printing other people's shirts, because that's when I'm going to make the real money, I feel like,
Yeah.
But right now, I'm just trying to build a T-shirt brand, but eventually it's going to get to the point where I'm printing the shirts, where I want to print other people's shirts. Like,
yeah, my
you
friend
got
has
this many orders, like
brand.
I'll print this many for this much,
Yeah. I got to buy that Trump one from my friend Garry. We call it Wall Street Garry.
Oh, yeah?
He's in here a lot. He's probably in here, too. I'm probably overdoing it with him in here.
Yeah.
But he's older. He was in Wall Street for 45 years.
Okay.
Mortgage industry, Italian.
Yeah.
But funny as hell.
That's what's up.
I mean, you laugh with him. You die.
Yeah.
You die. When he sees this, so I got
him in black and red, so I got black and red. That's it.
That's
like,
it?
The red one.
Okay, now this is your Instagram page.
Okay, this is the Instagram.
Yeah.
Well, that's the one for the clothing.
Yeah,
so I got 2, yeah. So right now, that's just like the product. You can actually go on my Instagram page and you can like buy directly from there. Like at the bottom, like if you go to the bottom of those pictures, you should see like a like a shopping bag or something like that. But if you do it, like if you're on the phone or something, you can go on there, and then the picture, when you look at the picture, it's like a shopping bag at the bottom. So you can click that and go directly to the shop. Like you can, buy it straight off Instagram.
Right. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
so-
So you
'cause
can
you
buy it
know,
right off Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know you could.
Because it's conveniency. Like people love conveniency. Nobody wants to click through this to go through that to go to that. So
well, perfect example, Amazon.
yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. It's at your house.
Exactly. So I do that on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
So my Facebook page, like it's the same thing. It's Resilient Well, on Facebook it's Resilient Records, but that's the clothing line, Resilient Clothing.
Okay,
So
spell that out. So
that's REZEALENT, and then Records RECORDS LLC. Like if you type that in Facebook, then you'll see the clothing line, and you'll see the same thing. Like you'll see the products, and then you can click it, and you'll be able to go through it.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Okay, and that link will be in the description. And then what's your Instagram?
The Instagram is Resilient Clothing.
Okay.
So that's it. Instagram.com. If you're not on Instagram, if you're going through like a web page or whatever, it'll be Instagram.com / Resilient Clothing, which is REZEALENT, and then clothing CLOTHING.
And I'm following you, I'm gonna cut up clips and put it on Instagram. So
Okay,
if you look at people I'm following, that's there if you miss it. So you got Facebook, Instagram.
Yes, sir.
You got your website, right?
Yeah, the website is Resilient. So just R and then ZEALENT.com. So www.resilient.
Well, this is the website here, right?
Yes, sir.
So it's REZEALENT.
That's what that one says?
Yeah, it's RE.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because you know what? The thing is, when I bought the domain, I wanted it to be art. It's funny because I already had the resilient.com domain, but I had it through another party.
Yeah.
So I was trying to see how I can merge it into that, but maybe they changed. Maybe it like went through like I wanted it to. But sometimes things take days.
I had the same problem.
Yeah,
it has to propagate and all that other stuff.
Like Tom said,
yeah,
it's REZEALENT.
Yeah, I just looked up and I don't want somebody to go to the wrong one. Like, where the hell is it?
That's good because I wanted it like that.
Yeah. So and he's got some awesome shirts. You brought some shirts in here.
Yeah, I bought some shirts. Just to show y'all some of the product like these.
Hold them up to that monitor. So
we're gonna go one at a time.
Yeah, go one at a time, man.
So I have all kind of
show off that art and that design.
Most recent design that it's like fun T-shirts, some of them like positive stuff. So I've never seen anybody with a beautiful. I try to come up with stuff that I've never seen anybody wear.
It might be hard. It might be hard to hear them. So I'll talk. So put that one up. That is cool.
These the same ones, but just different colors.
Yeah. So it says, I got the juice now, and Beetlejuice. He's got Beetlejuice on it. Look at that. That's cool, man. Yeah. And you got the logo in the back, and then you got the purple one.
This the purple one. The shirts they're 100% cotton, but they're lightweight and they're pre-shrunk. So when you wash it, it's not gonna shrink on you. You know what I mean?
Oh, so they won't shrink.
No, it's not gonna shrink on you.
You need to put that over the website, my man.
Yeah, for real. From
a marketing standpoint that I do for a living, you better put on it.
Sure.
That's a big seller, man.
Sure.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's the same shirt, but it's a different color.
Yeah, so like a woman might go with the purple, or a guy, I'd wear purple.
Yeah,
fucking look around the studio, it's fucking purple.
This is like more of a cultural shirt,
Yeah.
For black women, it says black is beautiful.
Yeah, that's cool. Cool colors, but not too much.
Not too much. And I got these. I have this shirt and this other shirt I'm gonna show you. I have these in kid sizes also.
You do?
Little girls, yeah.
Yeah. So you know what's cool? What Israel did here is he didn't go too crazy with that whole thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That's classy, man.
Yeah. So got that one, and all these shirts I'm showing you are on this website.
Yeah.
So,
and if you can't hear them, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to make sure you can see the shirts.
That's another one. It's like
Okay, strong, beautiful, bold, proud, intelligent, mother, boss, curvy, charming, fearless, educated, loving, caring, pretty, smart, wise.
Yeah.
It's nice.
And her hair is like African map. Like.
Yeah.
So that's a cool little shirt.
Yeah. I'll let you.
Yeah. So.
I just didn't want to cut off in the camera.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But that's that one.
Yeah, that looks good.
And I have, like I said, I have these in kid sizes too. Only those two, but I'm coming out with more kid designs like as we speak. Like I got people working on this one. This for my entrepreneurs out there. Success is the best revenge. That's what that says.
Yeah, there you go. Bring it up like that. Yep. Yeah, that's cool.
So that went, and I'm also thinking about putting this design on a blue shirt, so it'll be orange, white, and blue.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm thinking about doing that.
And maybe even make a white one too.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. So that this one of the more funnier shirts, but it says you know, it's a middle finger. It said
Yo,
pretty much
yo
like,
feelings get some money.
yeah.
In other words, fuck your feelings, get some money. All right?
Mm-hmm.
I could see Wes wearing that.
Yeah. So I got that in black. I got that in black too.
Definitely sticks out more in black.
Yeah.
Right?
It stick out more in black. Yep. So yeah, that's some of the shirts. You know, we coming up with designs every day.
That Trump one with Biden's funny.
Yeah.
Bro.
I should have brought that one in here.
You should have brought that one.
I should have brought it.
Yeah, you gotta push that.
Okay.
I'll put it up for you. You know what I'll do?
For sure.
I'll put it up. Yeah, I'll put it up a way that I won't get banned from anything.
Okay,
you know?
for sure. Yeah.
Because they're so crazy with that.
Yeah, they crazy
political.
about it, man. They going crazy.
So we got your clothing line, which looks good. You're gonna go more into kids, which I think
we're gonna go more into kids and
it
the
seems
women.
like that's where it's at right now.
Yeah, the kids and the women, because you know so many people got
a lot
kids
of the guys,
nowadays.
you know, they're into either the Armani, the Imperial Armani, or the
Yeah.
Supreme was making a run for a while.
Right.
You know, I mean, you'll do decent with, but
Right.
the kid stuff,
The kid stuff, yeah.
fire.
Yeah,
Right? And women,
and then you know
they'll
if you
buy
have,
anything for it.
my idea is to like just get something that a person can't resist. Like even if
Yeah.
you see a little shirt, like oh man, I want that shirt. You
I
know,
probably shouldn't say this, but I'm getting that Biden one.
Yeah.
I'm
you
getting
gonna
that
get
Trump
it?
one.
You gonna
yeah,
get that
yeah,
Trump?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
for
gonna
sure.
get 2 of them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get one from. I might get 3 for Brandon too.
Okay. Okay.
You know, some of my guys.
Yeah.
So
I keep them with me too. They in the car.
Awesome. So that's the clothing.
That's the clothes,
Now-
and it's gonna get better. Like
Yeah, you're
it's
just building it.
Yeah,
now,
we just building. Like I said, I'm restarting it. Like I used to have. Like I sent you some old pictures with some other stuff too. I don't like. Maybe we'll get to it, but some of the girls' clothing that I used to sell. You know,
Yeah, let me
because
see
I
it.
paid. Like I used to pay girls to like model the clothes and stuff. Maybe you can get to.
Yeah, while I look
that.
for this, go over on how to get your music.
Okay, so how to get my music? Search anywhere where music is streamed. All you have to search is ISREAL Taylor, ISREAL TAYLOR. That's everywhere, like every streaming platform. So this stuff here that you're looking at, this is some of the stuff. I still have a little bit of this stuff, but I sold a lot of it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But this was the clothing line before.
This is what you had before?
Yeah, so
Okay.
I sent you a couple of these pictures.
Yeah.
Like I had my friend come with his camera, and I paid like 2 of my homegirls, and they took pictures in the clothes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm going to get them off for you.
Yeah.
There you go.
So
Yeah.
this is some of the stuff I sold.
You
before.
designed that?
I didn't design it. So what I used to do is I used to go and find like wholesalers from like California and stuff. And I would buy it from them. I would find nice stuff that I think girls would like, and I would tag the clothes, and then I just sell them like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that looks like California.
Yeah, so yeah, that's some of the stuff I used to sell.
Oh, you did. You did.
Yeah, I did it all, man, because it was
too.
like, man,
Sure.
'cause we in Florida, it's hot, so.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
the area I was living in was like Jupiter, so they love going to the beach in Jupiter.
Yeah.
You know,
Now, do you still have these swimsuits available?
the swimsuits are the only thing
They're
that's
sold out.
Yeah, those sold out. The only thing that's still available is probably it was like a 2-piece set that the Spanish looking girl that she's wearing,
Mm-hmm.
and then that floral fit, the first one you seen.
Yeah, with the pants.
I probably got one of those left, and it's like a small.
Are you gonna do
so-
more swimsuits?
Yeah, I'm gonna get back into all that. I'm actually supposed to on the 21st of this month. On the 21st of this month, I'm supposed to be a vendor at an event that they're having at Abacoa. It's gonna be like a music concert. So I'm supposed to go to Miami this weekend and go to like the wholesaler district and find some stuff that I can pretty much buy and sell to some people.
Okay.
You know.
So
Yeah.
we'll have the link for the iTunes.
Okay. Yeah.
Spotify. You're on
Yes,
there. How do you say it? Spotify? I should know this.
Well, see, what I can do is I'll send you one link that it has everything.
There
so
you
that's
go.
the DistroKid link.
Yeah,
So
send me all
it'll have
that.
everything on it.
And then as you expand and you get that in line, you get more
Yeah,
T-shirts in.
For
You
sure.
come back in, we'll just knock it
Yes,
out.
sir. Because it's
You're
gonna
fun
go.
to talk to, man.
It's gonna go quick.
And-
Trust me.
and
Like by the time March comes next year, I
Yeah.
know I'm gonna I'm gonna be doing something major.
And the guy sounds like Chris Brown,
Yeah.
which is a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
And you have a YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, my YouTube. So you just have to search. Like right now, I don't believe, because I'm so like agile when it comes to like me doing stuff. I don't want like, I always start over. You know what I mean? Because I always want to be the best me. But it's not always good to start over. Like, it's good to show like where you came from. You know what I mean? And I take stuff down. I put it back up. I take stuff down.
Read comments?
Yeah.
Don't read comments.
Yeah.
Put it up and walk away.
Exactly. So I've done that a lot. So I know now you just have to search it. Like how I said search. You got to search official Israel.
Official
That's
Israel.
how I have to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like when you do it in YouTube, do official space and spell Israel IZREAL.
Okay.
I guarantee you I'll be the first thing to come up. Yep.
Yeah, and you'll send me a direct link.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure we're promoting everything that we can
cool,
for you.
Yeah.
And then you get it rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
And then come back in and then bring some more of your shirts in.
For sure.
Yeah.
I have all kind of. By the time I come back and see you, I'm gonna have men's like collar shirts, all type of stuff. Cause I'm getting stuff like I'm working on getting some stuff manufactured, everything. Like I'm really working, you know.
Yeah.
So it just takes time. Everything takes time. You can't rush it.
Good things take time.
You know. For sure.
Watch The Bronx Tale.
Yes, sir.
With,
I think I've seen that before.
Robert
The
De Niro.
Bronx Tale. Yeah. I have.
The worst thing in life is wasted talent.
Yeah.
Good things take time.
Right.
And then Machiavelli. Read the book Machiavelli.
Yes, sir. That's where Tupac get it from, huh?
Yeah.
Machiavelli in his piece.
Yeah. But wow, a lot of twists and turns.
Yeah,
Israel, man, you would never think it.
Right.
You know, so I think you told a great story.
Yeah.
I think you're going to get a lot of interest, and I wish you all the best, and I really hope you come back.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
If there's anything else you want to plug, go ahead. Feel free.
That's it, man. Y'all just, like I said, you can Google me, Israel Taylor, official Israel. I'll be one of the first things come up. Like, check out my YouTube videos, you know. Come through on the website, resilient.com. Buy some clothes, man. It's
You got an email you want to throw out there?
My email is resilient@gmail. So anybody who's interested in like doing an interview with me or booking anything, like once you hear my music, if you like something, you hear something you like, or you think I'll be like feasible for one of your shows or anything, like just hit me up, email me.
That was the kindest request I've ever heard. So it's resilient@gmail.com.
Yeah,
I know I keep asking this. I just don't want anybody to mess it up.
No, it's rezealent@gmail.com.
Email the guy. He's a very polite individual.
Yes, sir.
Very well-spoken, classy guy. I really enjoyed having you in. I appreciate it.
I enjoyed it, brother. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I really hope you come back.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, man.
All right, brother.
Best of luck to you.